All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful way to think about self-growth, and it's all inspired by the ancient Japanese art of bonsai. We're going to explore how to patiently nurture our skills, our goals, and build something that's actually strong and lasting, to finally get off that hamster wheel of needing instant results.
Does this sound familiar to you? That constant feeling of being rushed? That little knot of anxiety you get when you're scrolling through social media, looking at everyone else's highlight reel and comparing it to your own journey? Look, our world pretty much rewards speed above all else. But real, deep growth, well, that takes time. So today, let's explore a totally different path.
So think about it like this. On one hand, you've got what we can call the weed mentality. It's all about getting those quick, visible results, right? But just like a weed, that kind of growth is often really fragile and it just withers away pretty fast. But on the other hand, there's the bonsai aesthetic. This is all about patiently cultivating inner strength and your own unique character. It's a huge shift in how we think about our own development. So what exactly is bonsai? Well, it's the art of planting a small tree in a pot, and then over years, sometimes even decades, you meticulously shape it into this ideal, beautiful form. The key thing here isn't just the final tree. The real art, the real value, is found in that long, patient process of nurturing it. So what if we just completely reframe this? What if you started seeing your skills and your goals not as some race you have to win, but as a long-term project to be nurtured, just like a bonsai tree? By focusing on the process itself, we can build this unshakable self-esteem that doesn't depend on what happens tomorrow. So how do we actually start? Okay, step one is all about pruning. Just like a gardener prunes a tree to focus its energy and help it really thrive, we've got to learn what to cut away from our own lives. And the idea here is, it's actually really simple, but it's so powerful. You have to have the courage to just discard things. But cutting away everything that's non-essential, you let the parts of you that really matter get all the energy so they can shine their brightest. Okay, so how do we actually do this? 3 key actions. First, you've got to define your trunk. This is your one single core goal. Second, eliminate the branches. That means pruning away all those tasks that are just busy work and don't actually help that main goal. And third, create margin. Just stop the endless chase for new information and give yourself some space to really deepen the knowledge you already have. And check this out. Here's a fantastic real-world example. The author defined their trunk as becoming an AI talent. Then they started pruning away all those busy work branches by delegating tasks to AI. And boom, that freed up all this precious time and energy to pour back into their core goal. All right, once you've done your pruning, we move on to step 2, wiring your individuality. Now, in bonsai, wires aren't used to force a branch into place. They're used to gently guide it into a desired shape over years. And we can use that same idea to shape our own skills. Now, this part is absolutely crucial. See, real lasting change doesn't come from some sudden burst of motivation or brute force. It comes from applying consistent, small, gentle pressure over a long, long time. That's how you create real and lasting shape in your abilities. So, here's how you can start wiring yourself. First, create a consistency wire. This is a simple, unbreakable rule for your learning. Second, practice self-dialogue observation. That just means objectively checking in on your progress and gently correcting your course when you need to. And third, and I love this one, embrace the curvature. Don't always look for the shortcut. That winding, challenging path is often what builds the most strength and character. This example just nails the concept. The author set a wire rule for themselves: study AI for 1 hour every single day. No exceptions. And get this, they consciously chose not to chase efficiency. Instead, they focused on slowly building deep knowledge. That is how you cultivate an expertise that just can't be rushed. Okay, our final step is what really brings this whole thing home. Step 3 is the art of admiration. This is where we learn to find joy and, real self-worth, not in the final result, but in the process itself. The whole idea here is a massive mindset shift. It's about learning to cherish the actual act of nurturing yourself. The goal isn't just the perfect finished tree. The real value is in the daily care, the attention you give, the whole process of growth. So how do you actually cultivate this feeling? 3 habits. First, create a watering routine. Think of it as a small daily action just for your own growth. Then value the record of your progress. See your journal not just as notes, but as a real testament to your effort. And finally, gain confidence in the future. Start to trust that these small daily actions are truly shaping the person you want to become.
And here's a really great, super practical way to do this. The author keeps what they call a growth process notebook. And every night, they just write down something good and something new from their day. When you do that, you can look back and actually feel good about the work you've put in. It makes that daily watering routine something you actually enjoy. All right, so let's do a quick recap of the 3 big ideas from this bonsai philosophy. First, you prune. You cut away all the distractions to focus on your one core goal. Second, you wire. You gently guide your growth with consistent habits. And third, you admire. You find real value and joy in the daily process of nurturing yourself.
And that's really the big takeaway here. It's about stopping that chase for the next shiny thing and ending the comparison game. Instead, you can choose to see your growth as the slow, patient, and beautiful cultivation of a unique work of art, a bonsai that is truly 100% one of a kind in the entire world. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What's one small daily action, your personal watering routine, that you can start today to begin nurturing your own bonsai of self-growth? Thanks for hanging out with me today.